Merry me guys, and welcome to this instalment of Witchcraft and Me. I am doing one of these other blimmin' tag your it videos. Blimmin' Rowan, love you Rowan, I really do, but I'm one of those people who's stickler for rules and it's really annoying, in a good way, that I'm now doing these videos because it's giving me ideas and extra things to do, so happy days. So, haha. So let me sit back, munch my Parma violets, and take you through the 21 witchy questions, which were luckily already provided in Rowan's video, otherwise I'd have spent ages trying to look for them all. Anywho, let's get started. So, what background of witchcraft do I practice is the first question. I like to think of it as just witchcraft, bog standard witchery. Because I don't do really much of the religious side of things, although I do some religious things. I do sometimes petition. I do often petition to the god and the goddess to help me out, but I don't do it all the time. Excuse my Parma violet addiction. The second question is, what is my favourite witchy thing to do? Feed my crystal addiction. I can never get enough of these beauties. I love my crystals. I keep meaning to do a crystal video, but I can never get round to it. Back up. Up here, not down there, gentlemen. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's my favourite witchy thing to do. So my favourite type of magic is the third question. Well, the main witchery I do is not magic. I use the 9-knot spell, and I'll sit and meditate with the appropriate coloured piece of ribbon or string or wool. Then I'll knot it, and as I cast the spell, and then I'll go from there. I also like to do chant work, and I like to do dream work. Top 5 herbs. Question number 4. Oh my god, I don't do herbs. Okay, let me think. Rose petals, hibiscus, cinnamon, mint, and rosemary. Partly because I like the smell, partly because they're pretty, and I think mint because it tastes absolutely scrummy, and rosemary because it helps with memory. My favourite type of divination, my tarot. This is the tarot deck I've been using. Actually, I've been speaking with one of my friends who wants to make a tarot deck as an extra assignment for graphics, so I'm going to hopefully help him out with that. Very exciting. More about that in another video. So yeah, that's my favourite type of divination. How did I come to practice witchcraft? I was 12 years old, found this weird but wonderful witchy book in the library that was aimed at tweens, so sort of 12, 13-year-olds, and I never looked back. Although I didn't actually start properly practicing until now. I've sort of been studying and learning about it sort of in the years before. Am I Coven or am I solitary? Question number 7. I'm solitary. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. Sorry, random singing. I just had to do that. But yeah, I'm a lone witch. I do things on my own. I do everything on my own, apart from when I'm nattering to people on Facebook. I'm part of the Wiccan group for younger people on Facebook, which means my generation, and it's quite nice to hang out with people from across the world who share the same sort of belief set that I do. So that's quite cool. So I kind of would assume that's like a Coven, but not. Number 8. What is your favourite Esbat, Sabbat or solstice? I don't celebrate Esbats because I never remember to. I'll find out on the Facebook page like 2 or 3 or 4 days later. Oh my god, what did you do for the full moon ritual? There was a full moon. Sabbat or solstice, it'll have to be Samhain, partly because the day for is my birthday. If I'd have waited one more day, I would have been a witchy baby, or as my parents and friends and family like to call it. I like to think I'm witchy anyway, but it would have made me a bit more magical if I'd been born on Samhain. But it doesn't matter. I was born at 3:15 in the afternoon on the 30th of October, so nice one. So I get to elongate my birthday on Samhain, which is quite cool. My favourite witchy movie, well, I've only ever really seen Hocus Pocus, so it'll have to be that. I'm afraid I need to be introduced to some more witchy movies. I think people are saying, oh, you need to watch The Craft and see what you think. I saw it at Car Boot Sale once and thought, you know what, nah, I think I'll pass. And I'm hopefully going to see Beautiful Creatures when it comes. I think it's out in cinemas now in the UK, so I'll need to go and see it one weekend. Perhaps me and the sister-in-law can go. I'm not going to drag Josh along to that, because I think that's a bit too cruel. He has to put up with enough witchery as it is. My favourite witchy book, it says both learning and fantasy. Well, for my fantasy one, I'm going to mention that first. Wicked. I've mentioned it before in the portrayal of a witch video, but I love Wicked. It is the best fantasy novel ever to involve a witch as a main character. My learning one is Where to Park Your Broomstick. I know it's a very Americanised book for a UK witch to be reading, but it's just a fun, nice little book, and I tend to get quite a lot of information out of that one, so I think I've also got Confessions of a Teenage Witch by Guinevere Rain, which I also really like, because it is written from the perspective of a 19-year-old witch. I don't know how old she is now, she must be in her 20s now. But yeah, I like that one as well, because it also mentions about male witchcraft and male magic, so I think that's quite a nice thing for a female witch to read and get a perspective of. What was my favourite witchy show? Has to be Switch, from ITV in England, partly because it's a British thing, and it's more geared sort of at the younger audience, whilst things such as Bewitched and Charmed and The Secret Circle. I think The Secret Circle is more for teens as well, but it's a bit stupid, I think. It's all very supernatural, while Switch is very realistic, is in a way quite realistic, although there is some supernatural stuff, like the types of spells that they do and the way that the spells manifest themselves are quite supernatural. But really, that's not the main focus. The main focus is on the girls' lives and the way that being witches can affect them. And paganism and Wicca is mentioned quite a lot. So it's one I'd recommend my fellow UK's witches to get. I got Switch when HMV was starting to go into administration and it was on sale. I feel really guilty, but hey ho. But what consumers got to do, consumers got to do. And I bought it and I love it. So yeah, my favourite witchy show is Switch. What's my favourite colour and what does it mean to me? Well, I love green. Green because I don't know, it's like the traditional stereotype of the witch since The Wizard of Oz is that the witch has bright green skin. It shows her outward difference. Obviously, Elphaba in Wicked, who is the Witch of the West, is green herself. And if I had to choose a skin colour, I would be green. It just makes the whole idea of being different beautiful, as far as that manifestation of the colour green goes. I also find it's a very calming colour, it's a very pretty colour, and it suits me. Because of my colouring and everything else, I really suit all kinds of green. Green just looks amazing on me, particularly khaki and bottle green look beautiful on me. Next. What type of animal, creature, person is your spirit guide and or totem animal? Still need to look for my spirit guide, so I can't answer that question. I'll give you extra feedback in the future. and make it a video response, so yeah. How many lives do you think I've had? Well, I had a reading, an aura sock reading from a girl on DeviantArt, and she came back and said I had a rainbow aura, and I was like, oh, that's unusual. And she goes, yes it is, you're one of the first people I've ever met with one, I've only ever met two, you're the second. And those people are what they call star people, or people who are living their first incarnation. You are living your first life. So I'm just going to say flat out, I'm on life number 1. Next. What is my element? I'm a water sign, so therefore I am water. I'm quite stubborn, I'm quite emotional, and I do get quite mood swingy like the tide. So yeah, I'm definitely a water sign. What's my astrology sign? I'm a Scorpio, which makes me even more complex because Scorpio is supposed to be the most complicated astrology sign in the entire zodiac. So, yay, I guess. Number 17, who is your goddess and god? I don't have a patron or matron or whatever, because I don't identify with that side of paganism and witchcraft, although I just like to refer to the triple goddess. I love that depiction of the goddess, so I could say the triple goddess. And I also like the horned god and the goddess, as you can see. Over on my altar, I've got representations of both on the wall just by it, so you know, that kind of answers that question. My favourite crystal is the rose quartz. Now, where is my rose quartz? Don't tell me it's bad. I hate it when this happens. I had it all planned, I had it out, on the bed, ready. Oh, I'm in the Here is my lump of rose quartz, which I got for £3.50, I believe. It's one of the most expensive crystal I've ever bought. It's obviously untumbled, and it's rough, and it's in its pure glory, and it lives on my altar as my earth element, and I relate to it just because I'm just a very emotional and very romantic person, so that's why. And obviously my pendulum is a rose quartz. It isn't wooden or anything like that. I still can't figure out whether... it's definitely a girl. I'm not sure about the name yet, although I was suggested quite a cute name by Rowan, so I might put that one in mind. So if anyone's got any ideas, if they saw my other Tag Your It video, you can maybe come up with some ideas for a name for my pendulum. Didn't realise pendulum had to have a name, to be fair. I feel really guilty now, I'm not looking after my witchy stuff properly. Ooh, I feel really bad now. Might go off and cry. No, I'm fine. My favourite witchy tool is my feather, which I use instead of incense, because obviously I'm not allowed anything heat related in my room. I'm not even allowed an extension lead, which makes life really difficult sometimes. So yeah, I use a lovely green feather instead of incense, so I wave it around and waft sort of energy around with it instead of using smoke and incense when doing a ritual or a spell. So yeah, that's that. What's my favourite witchy craft to do? I don't do craft. I'm a rubbish artist. I cannot sculpt. I've got a black thumb. Most I like to do is I just draw and doodle and stick stickers all in my Book of Shadows. I'm going to have to do a Book of Shadows update actually, because I've added loads of more stickers and I've added a few more cool bits of information into my Book of Shadows. So yeah, I have to do that, and I have to show you what to do that. So yeah, that's that. So now this is the last bit. Where we're talking about the top 5 witches that I love, and I'm going to put links at the bottom somewhere so you can subscribe. or just watch and see what you think. The first one is one of the first YouTubers, pagan wise, that I ever met online, as it were, and that's Pally Egyptian. She's a British university student who just happens to be a Tamarin Wiccan, which means she works a lot with the Egyptian side of things. So Egyptians are her Parthenon. She is working towards the Fellowship of Isis. If you're into that sort of thing, for God's sake, subscribe, because she is amazing. She's wise beyond her years, and oh my god, I'm so recommend her. Cutie Witch 772. Yes, finally said your username right, Cara. Ha ha ha. Again, she's a younger YouTuber. She does a load of stuff with Pagan Perspective, and obviously she has her own channel. She is totally awesome. She's just she's really cool. She's from the US, so again, that's more of the American perspective on young witches today. And she talks about all sorts of different issues, and she does a lot of interactive stuff. So if you're into that sort of thing like I am, check her out. Oathbound Secrets I really like. She's obviously another older person. I won't say you're old, because that might get a lot of... I might just delve into my Book of Shadows and banish you or something. No, I'm really joking. Not all people are like that. But I don't want to offend anyone by saying they're old. I know how icky women can get. So yeah, she's sort of, you know, she's, again, gives a lot of useful information. She does nice long tutorial videos and stuff like that, so yeah, I recommend. The Four Queens, I love. She's a British witch, and she's also a tarot reader. So she has a lot of tarot tutorials online, which I would strongly recommend you all have a look at. They're helping me out quite a bit. So check her out. And I think she also has an Etsy store where she does readings and other bits and pieces, so check it out. And the last one I'm going to shout out is Dragon Feather 369. She's the last younger witch that I've discovered. I'm not sure if I think she's US, and she is very Wiccan, and yeah, she's, again, another perspective on witchcraft in America, especially for the young. And she also does like a lot of information about, I think I saw a really nice video that she did about ritual clothing and astral projection. So not something I'm too willing to try, because I'm a bit of a wuss about trying big stuff like that. I'm sticking to meditation for now. I'm going to be starting my first ever meditation to find my spirit guide, hopefully tonight. So yeah, that'll be really fun, and I'll update you guys later. So yeah, that's all of that. Sorry about the long video, obviously I had to get everything done. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you've watched this, tag you're it. It's your time. Make the video response it to me or whoever. Thanks again, Rowan, for doing your video. I really enjoyed it. I still can't figure out where Eastbourne is. It sounds like somewhere on the Isle of Wight, but I'm not overly sure. It could be Wales, I don't know. I think there's a place called Eastbourne in Wales as well. Who knows? But anyway, from me in Hampshire, England, I'm going to say blessed be and ta-ra for now.